Hello and welcome to a special episode of Profiles in Risk. Today I have with me Nicolas Christiaen, CEO and co-founder of Donna. They were on episode 693. So Nicolas, how's it going today?
It's going very well. Thank you, Tony, and thanks for having me.
Perfect, perfect. So Donna is one of the rare episodes that I do remember. Right, I do so many of them that it is very hard to keep track of who's who. But if I remember correctly, you guys sales assistant that and I've had a field sales role in the past, so this is very close to my heart.
Yeah,
Basically, your salesperson goes to the meeting and on the way out gets either a phone call or a text or whatever method they choose from the intelligent assistant, and then they talk through how the meeting was, and that feeds into the CRM, which salespeople are famously bad at doing. Uh,
yeah,
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so it's been, I don't know, 3, 4 months, maybe 5 months since you guys were on.
yeah.
So what is new with Donna?
Well, I think since we talked a few months ago, I think things really took off for us. I think we went times five at the in terms of number of clients that we were at the time we spoke. So things re really took off. And last week, we just announced our seed round. We raised about $5 million
Congratulations.
from US based and some European agents as well. So US VCs from Frontline Ventures. And there were all of our existing shareholders also wanted to double down. So super proud of that. But I think what's the most interesting thing is it created so much um, further inbound flow so that year 2026 looks incredibly nice ahead of us. And I think what really sparked everything. Since we talked is that since we focus on specific verticals like insurance, we were able to fine-tune and customize Dana, for example, to the insurance use case of carriers that want to develop their relationships with brokers. And that, as you say, will literally go from one meeting to the next. They will brief Dana, but also will get briefed by Dana. So also before they get into a meeting, but they can use Donna as a coach ultimately, so that they are just well prepared, better prepared. They ask the right things, and they're just much more efficient and productive when going into these meetings with the brokers.
Okay, so tell me about that process of focusing on the vertical. Okay, so with insurance, what is it that you guys figured out that could make Donna really good, specifically in the insurance vertical?
Yeah. So when we try to speak with many of the carriers out there, we set up a couple of these test cases, and all of them turned out to be giving similar information outcome is that there's a lot to discuss when you're working at a carrier and you're visiting all these brokers, and every time you have to actually talk about the different client cases, the way that sort of the share of wallet is developing, the different products that as a carrier you're basically offering, which in most cases, of course, are competitive to others. So you try to, of course, understand also your competitive positioning within a certain broker. And I think these discussions typically, what do you typically retain in the CRM? Not a lot. Like, not a lot of that information is actually getting into the CRM. So the ratio of information that could be captured versus the one that is actually captured is incredible. And I think that's where we found out that you have typically like multi-threaded information flows, multi-threaded conversations, multiple stakeholders. And in order to keep track of all of that, Donna is actually perfect because you could use Donna, by the way, in the meantime, also if the broker is comfortable, literally to record in live with the app the conversation. It will diarize the speakers perfectly. And afterwards, Donna will give you a call and say, "Hey, that meeting went really well, but I have like a couple of follow-up questions just to make sure I got the notes tight." If you haven't recorded anything, you just basically have a Q&A conversation with her, and it will go over the different threads that you had with the different stakeholders on the different deals, and all of that gets documented in a very structured way. And the thing that is actually very important for these carrier broker relationships is, what are the different deals on the table? How can we be better in the deal? What is the share of wallet? What are there any like events that we can actually partner on? That's the other piece. That then form like next steps or like tasks that also can be added to your Outlook or to your CRM system. So I think these workflows is what we figured out, and where we kind of try to zone in or hone in on how could Donna be perfected for those flows.
Well, one thing you just mentioned that we didn't talk about last time is this idea of having the actually pulling out the phone and being like, "Hey, are you okay if my AI assistant listens in?"
Yeah,
Which is really interesting. I never thought of that because I think that let's call it 10 years ago when I was a sales manager, uh, if I walked into an agent's office and said, "Hey, are you cool with me recording the meeting?" I think that it would have been very weird. But
yeah,
today, just like COVID pushed us to the point where
yeah,
it's so normal to meet on Zoom or on Teams, I think that the use of AI assistants on Zoom and team meetings for the last, let's call it 2-3 years, has made it so that let me put it this way. Um, I use Fathom AI assistant, right?
yeah,
And uh, for the first few months that I used it, I was very uncomfortable with like because Zoom basically says warns the user out loud this meeting is being recorded. And
yeah,
at first, the only time I saw that was during podcasts, but during normal chats, people are not expecting the meeting to be recorded. So at first, I was very uncomfortable with having to go out of my way to explain, "Hey, the reason it's being recorded is because I have my AI assistant, right? And if you want to
yeah,
turn it off, just let me know." Um,
yeah,
and now it's been maybe 6 months. Now the majority of people, like we've all been in meetings with AI assistants on Zoom, it's become so normal that you don't really have to explain it anymore. I still think the fact that Zoom says this meeting is being recorded is a little awkward, but you don't have to explain the AI assistant. So I haven't tried it live, but I would guess that we've gotten used to it this way. That like I myself would be comfortable walking into a meeting and being like, "Are you okay with my AI assistant taking notes?"
yeah.
Right?
It's super similar. I think Tony, you're hitting it right on the nail. I think it's very similar. What we've seen, like think about 1.5 years ago, if someone with a mobile phone would come and say, "Hey, can I record you?" It would be typically regarded as like, "Oh, this journalist me to be on the record." Like that's what we
Yes.
like. If anyone that basically has encountered a journalist at some point, then this is like the on record moment, and it is typically almost like confronting. It is something you don't want. But I think the amount of times that now people have come up to me, even when we're Donna, they basically say, "Hey, can I record this meeting?" It's like it's almost funny because people are getting used to the fact that there's productivity, huge productivity gains coming out of it. And why is that? I think because it's an increased amount of information. We get information from all sides, right? It's I think information is key to also do our jobs effectively, and I think getting good insights from these meetings is the key to that. And I think in order to do that, you have to capture some way or another. Now, the cool thing, last point on this one, is that when are people feeling comfortable? When they already have an established relationship with another person. And I think this is really key for us. We always advise people like, look, you only should do the live note taking or live note recording when you feel comfortable. And typically that is in account management or in relationship, I would say relationships between carriers and brokers where there's a developed relationship. And I think that goes. But if it's a new one, we typically say like, first build a relationship, make sure there's a level of trust, and then people will get used to it. I think that's a bit how it goes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, yeah, and the advantages of having Donna in the meeting, because let me put it this way, and I'm guessing here. So if you have actual numbers, correct me. But I'm guessing like how much I remember from the meeting just from my notes. If I get home at the end of the day and put them in the system, which the reality is most
Yeah,
people don't. Maybe at the end of the week, like if they know that their boss checks on Tuesdays, on Monday they spend time getting all the notes in. So there's
I know.
a decreasing the quality of what they remember the further away there is, right?
Yeah,
So
there's
they typically improve that by calling me at the end of the meeting, but there's still things I'm gonna have forgotten, right?
yeah,
While if Donna was in the actual meeting, then we're pretty much guaranteeing that the important stuff got captured.
100%, 100%. And Tony, there are statistics on this, and it's
That's what I
quite
figured you
marvel.
would know.
It's crazy. I think it's half of the information is lost 2 hours after meeting.
Two
Like
hours,
you,
okay.
2 hours, yeah, yeah. You don't remember. You simply don't remember. Like short-term memory lets you down in that particular case. But then it becomes long-term memory. So it is after the day, depending on the number of meetings you have, it goes down to about 20%. So now we all know that, let's say after a day that we can remember visually or mentally, like still the main key points, but even then you will have forgotten at least one or two of them, which is crazy, right? So that's indeed why it already helps to have like Donna on the phone afterwards, but it's even better if indeed you have a couple of notes, even by the way, scribbled notes, Tony. If you can scribble it, you can actually scan it with Donna. Donna will actually say, "Oh, that's really interesting. Let me read your notes," and then build on that. Um, so there's a different way to operate. And I think it's one of the things that we have come across in the last few months. I think when we talked, Tony, at the time, everything was about that phone call. Today, we have figured out that voice notes, chats, phone calls, scribbled note scan, recording in on site, all of them basically play a role in one conversation versus another. And I think we've really accommodated now Donna to be sort of that multimodal, multi-agentic system in order to capture all of that. Even age differences do really matter, Tony. A person that is 26 years old will typically leave a voice note, while a person at 45 years old likes to call. Two different ages require two different modes.
Okay. So we're recording December 9th, 2025. So now that you've raised the seed round, what is the plan for 26? What are you excited about for 26?
Yeah, we want to grow very aggressively, expand across we have expand across the US, expand into the further into the insurance vertical. But what's going to be very exciting is that we're going to have other functionality added to the actual equation. So we're also going to go into the direction of coaching. So making sure that actually you get coached before you can go coached afterwards. We're going to observe industry trends, competitor trends, and play them back to you. Like, hey, your colleagues have been encountering these objections in their sales processes. This is the way that they handled it. This is how they positively handled it. This is an example of coaching. And there's going to be that other element of like in the last weeks for like team leaders they will see like, hey, this is the amount of times that certain competitors have jumped up in the conversations. Again, that's going to provide you that intelligence from a lead perspective, but also from an agent perspective to just be more productive and efficient. And this makes us really exciting. And then the last bit is in terms of I would say what you will be able to do with Dana will go far beyond the CRM. It literally will handle calendars, send out meeting requests, draft emails with context of that meeting, so that basically things are really handled. Yeah. much more effective, and you basically save so much time at the end
Yeah,
of
so,
your
so,
day.
so it's expanding from a AI meeting notes CRM interface to a more full-fledged sales assistant that can interact with you with your whole environment,
Stack.
basically.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Even with other systems, because I think systems of records, like at CRM and in the insurance world, you have so many other systems. That's one of the things that we actually encountered. You have like so many record keeping systems. And we have now an API that actually allows very recently to connect with these different systems so that you can collate different insights from the different systems to build that intelligence in the brain of Donna, so if you will. So that I think is Weeks is really exciting because
All
it's going to
right.
be a very much like better versed Donna, so you will in going to meetings.
All right. All right. Fantastic. And by the way, you guys still have the light version that allows you to test on it without integrating into
Oh
this.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We have. It's like the little beachhead. Everyone actually can, in terms of if you want to try and have a Donna. Basically, we have a little bit of a light beachhead version. You can actually interact with Donna. You can talk to her. You can already see how she can make you more productive, and then you can tell your boss and let's say get others excited.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Nicholas, thank you so much for your time today. Awesome to catch up and uh, love to see that you guys are just kicking butt out there and getting this wonderful tool into the hands of more and more salespeople in our industry.
That's not a problem, Tony. Really, really nice to have had this chat, and yeah, see you soon for more news.
Thank you.
See you. Bye bye.